I've lost to the wow factor. We all lost to that wow factor, and he has that wow factor.
I'm 100%.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the official Dubai Pro comparison list. A list of total 18 guys for the men's open bodybuilding. But disappointing to see no Andrew Jacked or Mohamed Fada in there. Although we already knew that these guys aren't competing there. Because both of them never committed to this show. Which honestly doesn't make a lot of sense for all of us fans. Because both these guys train and live in Dubai. So Andrew is gonna be on the stage in 2 weeks time anyway. So only he can explain why he missed this chance of winning 5 times the amount of prize money compared to what he's gonna get at Texas Pro this year. And same goes for Mohamed Fada as well. He just won Chicago Pro, and this was a perfect opportunity for him to stand next to these Olympians and make a statement, just like Martin Fitzwater did by doing the New York Pro. But despite that, Mohamed Fada is already qualified for Miss Olympia, and the good thing is that he isn't done with the season just yet, as he is most probably going to compete either at Tampa Pro or maybe at Texas Pro, because these are the only 2 shows in the near future that are going to be in the US. So I guess these guys must have a reason for skipping this year's Dubai Pro, but only they can tell us what that is. So coming back to Dubai Pro list, we're going to have the same top 4 that we have been talking about for weeks now. Rubiel Mosquera, Nihat Kaya, William Bonac, and Behrouz Tabani. So Rubiel Mosquera is going to be the biggest excitement in this show. Because the other 3 guys, we have already seen them multiple times this year, and we know what they can bring to the stage. And interestingly, all 3 of them, they are already qualified for Miss Olympia 2024. So in a scenario where it is really close between Rubiel Mosquera and the others, Rubiel will most probably get the win, because this just favors the Pro League to have such a freak at this year's Miss Olympia. And who knows, Rubiel might be so overwhelming on the stage that he just dwarfs everyone and win the show anyway.
That's wow factor. If he's ripped to pieces, can he win Olympia?
It's possible, yeah. His front double, his front double,
right?
His front
wow
double
factor determines he can win against anybody, including all the Olympia, right?
Yeah.
So Milos Sarcev, who is the coach of Behrouz Tabani, even he admitted that Rubiel is going to be just too much to take on from the side. And Chris Cormier has been building Rubiel up as the favorite to win this year's Dubai Pro. And his back, that was considered sort of a weakness when he made his pro debut back at Prague last year. That isn't a weakness anymore according to Chris Cormier. So his skin is looking super thin. And that, I have to say, is a warning sign for all the competitors out there. Because condition-wise, Rubiel is most probably going to be a lot better than what we are expecting from him. And that, I have to say, can be a game changer. Because the size that he has, plus the freak factor and the wow factor, that is going to go towards Rubiel Mosquera anyways all day long. Now the question is, will that be enough to take out a guy like Behrouz Tabani?
It's subjective sport. But listen, Rubiel is a Ronnie Coleman type of monster, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay?
What can he bring it?
Yeah, overwhelming. If you say, wow, it is. He's going to probably overwhelm everybody on the stage. I mean,
that's what I expect.
And he's got strategy.
Now the question is, will that be enough to take out a guy like Behrouz Tabani, who seems to be in the best condition of his career right now? And that is the game plan by Milos. The thing is, Behrouz cannot play the size game against Rubiel Mosquera. So his best bet, that is to just outcondition all these guys. And that includes Rubiel Mosquera as well. Because that is where he can expose him on the basis of his symmetry, his aesthetics, the way he flows top to bottom. Because Behrouz will arguably have the best condition as well. Because we have seen it in the past. That guy never misses his mark. Plus he is most probably going to have the best symmetry as well. So I think he's a safe bet to win this year's Dubai Pro. Now, I have to say, even though William Bonac is a veteran, but he is least likely to win this show because he's going to be standing between 3 monsters. And all of those guys have bigger frame than William Bonac. They have more width, and all of them have more tapered down waistline. Plus, I have to say the age factor. That must also be taken into consideration. Can William Bonac hold on to that condition for this long? And lastly, Nihat Kaya, who never backs down from a fight. So Nathan and Behrouz, they are the ones whose appearance at this upcoming Miss Olympia seems to be very doubtful, at least at this point. And I really hope that I'm wrong on this one. So both these guys would like to end the season at a very high note. So do let me know what you guys think. And who did you guys have winning? So a big lineup for Classic Physique category as well. But 3 guys stand out. The former 2 times Classic Physique Olympia champion, Fazi, was out there in Kuwait, training with his partner Rubiel Mosquera and his coach and his trainer Chris Cormier at the Occident Gym. So clearly the favorite to win this show. Wahid Badepi was a top 10 finisher at last year's Miss Olympia, the same guy who finished behind Stefan at Portugal Pro just a few weeks back. And lastly, the return of Danny Yonan after 2.5 years. So Fazi is a guy who never misses his mark in terms of conditioning and peaking. And even though he knows that he can show up less than 100% here and still win this show, but even then he did not take this lightly. He is putting in his 100%. So unless he messes up big time in the final peak week or fails to make the weight cutoff, which I don't see happening, I do not see anyone beating him here. So big names in the 212 class as well, starting with Angel Calderon, who is a top Olympian, Nasir Said, who just won Portugal Pro a few weeks ago and punched his Olympia ticket. And do not forget, he is another top Olympian, as he has placed as high as top 7 at this past Miss Olympia. But the biggest hype, that is around that 21 years old freak of nature, Nihat Kaya, who is about to make his pro debut in arguably one of the most difficult shows in the 212 division in 2024. So Nihat Kaya is looking absolutely stunning just 4 days out of this show. And for a guy who is just 21 years old, that I have to say is absolutely nuts. But here is the fact. He is going to be going up against some veterans of the sport. Some guys who are even 20 years older than him. So I have to say this isn't going to be an easy show. And he is going to be truly tested. So with a guy like Angel Calderon in this show, who is always really peeled and really shredded, he's the favorite to win this show. But still, it is going to be so interesting to see such a young talent up there. So the last time we saw someone so muscular at such an early age, that was Lee Priest. And Lee at that age, he was better than him. But Nihat Kaya is also impressive beyond belief. So do let me know what you guys think. Can this guy cause an upset here at Dubai Pro? Can he beat a guy like Angel Calderon, who not to mention is a top 3 Olympian? Because if he can do that, he will already solidify himself as the guy who's gonna place top 6 at this upcoming Miss Olympia. And that too at his debut. And that is gonna be just nuts. Aaron Banks, as the former men's physique champion, he's the biggest name competing in Dubai Pro in that division. So he isn't only the former Miss Olympia champion, but the Arnold Classic champion as well. And looking at some of his updates, he looks right on the money. So this is gonna be Aaron's first show after he failed to defend his Olympia title last year. And he got beat by not only just Ryan Terry, but Brandon Hendrickson as well. So Aaron Banks will be looking to make a big statement here. He would want to dominate this show, because his next show will most likely be the Olympia, and he would want to solidify himself as an Olympia title contender. So I don't think he's gonna make that same mistake that he committed last year when he jumped into the Legion Sports a few weeks before the Olympia and lost to Chiron. He lost the momentum right there, and then he lost the Olympia title as well. So the man who could challenge Aaron here at Dubai Pro, that is gonna be Abisai Peters, who just won Chicago Pro this past weekend. So the men's open class, that is what attracts the biggest crowd. But I have to say the amount of money that the promoters put up for grabs, I think we all expected some other big names to show up and fight for the title, especially in the men's open. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.